The starting pitching continued to shine as the Phillies move into the second week of the season. Shutout baseball through all 9 frames. Solid defense behind their teammates on the mound, and a big swing in a big spot of the game resulted in a well-earned home win, number 1.
Phillies program.
Perfect accent. It was on the first part of the word. We got a night baseball game here at Citizens Bank Park. It's a gorgeous evening for little Phils and San Diego Padres. Come on in, little guy. You got your scheduled magnet. You got your elephant stuffed animal. We're ready to go. It's game 3 of this 4-game series. So the Phillies in the last 10 games against the San Diego Padres have been very successful. Yes, they lost the home opener the other day, but they've won 8 of the 10 games. They've scored 50 runs during that time. They're only averaging 3 runs per game this year, but they've got 3 victories to show for it, including 1 against the Padres. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis. We get set for tonight's ball game, and we get set for Jared Eickhoff to make his second appearance of the season. Jared was pretty good in his last outing against the New York Mets. He said he tired a little bit in the 6th inning, but he had some effective pitches, even though he was a little wild the first couple innings.
He was very effective, and you are going to tire if you're a starting pitcher, especially because he didn't accumulate those innings in spring training with that thumb injury, but he was very effective in New York. His breaking ball was outstanding, but he's as good as his ability to move hitters' feet. You see this here with Lucas Duda, able to move some feet, go back down and away, induce a fly ball to center field. When he's able to do that, because he doesn't have that 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball, we could throw it right by somebody. If he can move some feet, it'll open up the rest of the plate.
And he's pretty tough on the mound, too. Nothing really phases him. Now, speaking of being unfazed, Odubel Herrera, well, he's unfazed at the plate. He's off to a rough start, but he's been picking it up lately these last few games.
He has been picking it up, and he's starting to get hot, and they desperately need that. They need any offense they can really find right now, and Odubel's starting to find it. He's getting hot. If you take a look at some of these pitches, he's starting to feel it. His timing is getting back. We know about the big leg kick that he has, but he's able to start to spit on some pitches, find a good pitch, and stay back. He was a little out in front right there on the triple last night, but able to keep his hands back. That is a key ingredient for his success at the plate. He was able to do it on the triple.
And what did you tell him today that he was doing on the base paths?
I said you were running like the wind.
That's right. And he was walking away laughing and trying to emulate that same speed that he had going into third base. It is game 3 of this series between the Phils and the San Diego Padres. It'll be Colin Ray on the mound for San Diego. Eickhoff, of course, making his second start. Lineups at first pitch when we return to Citizens Bank Park. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Jared Eichhoff taking the field tonight against the San Diego Padres, getting set to make his home debut here in 2016. Let's take a look at San Diego's lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. The Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. John Jay leads it off in center, then Corey Spangenberg batting second. Matt Kemp is third, followed by Will Myers and Melvin Upton. Christian Bethancourt will bat sixth in the bottom third of Adam Rosales. Alexi Amarista starting at short, and Colin Ray, a bulked up Colin Ray for the Padres, facing Jared Eichhoff, who went 5 innings against the Mets. He did suffer the loss, pitched pretty good. He actually went 5+ innings, and it was the plus where he ran into trouble. So the first pitch of the night from Jared Eichhoff is in there for strike, and it's 0-1.
Take a look at the scouting report for Jared Eichhoff. Love his stuff. He'll sit about 91. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. He does have one tremendous breaking ball, and very good here last season with a 1.80 ERA and was 1-1.
Yeah, the Phillies pitchers as a whole have been good. The starting pitchers especially have been good this season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jay, who's hit an 8 straight. And he fouls that away. It's 1-2. John Jay is hitting .303. He has 5 runs scored and 5 RBIs. Breaking ball and a call. Strike 3. Well, that is the curve. That's his out pitch. And there's 1 out. Time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Well, the Phillies have played a couple sloppy ones lately, so I'd love for them to just clean it up a little bit. Other teams giving you some outs, you have to take advantage of that. So clean it up, and Odubel is heating up. Like what I've seen out of him recently. So as the weather heats up, so does Odubel.
So did you mark down backwards K in your scorebook, Ben?
Stop it, Tom. I could have sworn I brought that pen with me. Son of a gun.
No balls and 1 strike to Spangenberg.
It's definitely not here, Tom.
Spangenberg 6 for 31 so far this year, hitting .194. He is 0 for 7 in the series. And that fastball is low, off the glove of Rupp. Eichhoff last year, after the trade from the Rangers, was in Lehigh Valley. Pitched well, 2-1 with a 2.49 ERA. And then came up to the big club and was 3-3 with an ERA of under 3. He made 8 starts. His last 4 starts a season ago. I think this is where he kind of earned a nod in the rotation this year. His last 4 starts, 3 earned runs in 28 innings of work. Just 17 hits and 33 strikeouts. And a curveball. That one misses a bit low, according to Lance Barksdale.
And that's good to see in a young pitcher because he wasn't accustomed to pitching in September. So nice to see him keep that stamina.
Curveball rolled over right side, picked up by Hernandez. Eichhoff covers in time just to get Spangenberg. Well, good communication all the way around. Obviously Howard ventured to try to get that ball, and once he did, it was up to Eichhoff to cover the bag.
You always want your second baseman taking that play, especially if your first baseman is left-handed, as the big piece is. Too hard to spin around completely and make that throw to Jared. Nice that Caesar took it.
So 2 outs, and here's Matt Kemp, who was 1 for 8 in the series. The 1 hit was a single to right center field in the opener. No strikes. Kemp is 10 for 33 this season. After last year hitting 23 home runs, 110 RBIs. And he hooks that one into left field. That'll be a base hit. So he's aboard with a 2-out single. And it'll bring Will Myers to the plate. Myers is back playing first base tonight after playing the outfield for a couple of games, or for a few innings. Game 1 and then game 2. Did not start yesterday. towards center field. Odubel is there, and he makes the catch. Side is retired, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Padres nothing, and the Phillies coming up. Move to the bottom of the first inning. Phillies bench players are settling in for a long winter's night. Let's take a look at their lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. It'll be Hernandez, Herrera, and Franco, followed by Ryan Howard at first base and Cameron Rupp batting 5th. Freddie Galvis will hit 6th. And the bottom third of Cedric Hunter in left, Peter Borges in right, and Jared Eichhoff is on the mound. And they will face right-hander Colin Ray. Ray, 4 1/3 so far, 1 start, 1 relief appearance. 5 strikeouts in those 4 1/3, but he's allowed 12 base runners so far. As we said, he's a bulked up Colin Ray. Benny's put on 25 pounds since last year. Who hasn't put on 25 pounds since last year?
There you go. There we go. Mike wasn't on. 90-94. We curve, cutter, splitter. Very good season last year. 1.95 ERA in 2015. He's got some stuff.
Cesar bunts his way into an 0-1 count. That ball's hit foul over the screen. Cesar 0 for his last 5. He tried to bunt for sacrifice last night, and it was not effective. Overall hitting .346.
He was out here early, taking early bunting practice with Larry Boa.
He was not alone. 0-2. Boa was feeding that machine. All of a sudden, as I'm walking by the dugout, I heard, did somebody unplug the machine?
If having to hit that reset button on the socket down there.
In the dirt, 1-2. Sarge walked up the stairs and looked back and said, why are you pulling the plug out of the wall? Cesar is 3 for 6 in the series, despite going hitless in yesterday's game. Outside and high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Denise Mitchell of Pottstown. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. The Denise will win $300.
Good luck, Denise.
That one is sliced past the diving Rosales into left field. Hernandez will stop at first. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the first inning.
He goes to no-hitter.
At least on in this ball game.
Very nice job of staying inside that baseball. Just even get a barrel on it and shoot it the opposite way. Nice piece of hitting by Caesar.
Yeah, they have a little bit of an overshift on, particularly on the left side of the diamond. So here is Odubel Herrera, who's hit in 5 consecutive games, 3 for 6 in the series so far. He had the triple last night that gave the Phils the only run they would need, although they scored a couple more just for some insurance. Odubel checks his swing. They appeal, and he went around, says the third base umpire, Angel Hernandez. And he did not go around. But Angel does not have the luxury of replay.
No, he doesn't.
And the pitch is cued foul. And it's now no balls and 2 strikes.
I know that was a hit and run, but it's a shame that Odubel even made contact. Caesar had a wonderful jump at first base. Take a look at the umpiring crew for the night. Ted Barrett, the crew chief.
Angel is not as close to the third base bag as he was to the first base bag in game 1. No balls and 2 strikes to Odubel. Outside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Odubel last year 8 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Colin Ray is taking his time in between pitches here. Now, we have not seen Colin Ray before. I'm not sure if this is his game plan or if this is just the way he holds runners on, is to be this deliberate.
I think a lot has to do with Odubel, though.
Well, he's taking his time, too.
He's in no rush up there himself.
Another toss over to first, and Hernandez is back ahead of the tag.
I got home last night. My wife said to me, she says, you know, Odubel really takes his time when he's hitting, doesn't he? I said, yes, he does.
He's a thinking man, Ben. He's got a lot rolling around that noggin of his.
Didn't like the footing, Tom.
And the pitch is chopped back toward the middle. Amarista's got it. He is out at second base. Boy, I thought Cesar got there. I thought Amarista was looking for the bag. He was in the neighborhood, but it's a double play. And there are 2 outs. A 6-3 double play, and that was just unlucky.
Unlucky, but very quick feet by Amarista. And Cesar almost did beat that out, Tom, because he had another very, very good jump.
Right there. His foot's on the bag before Hernandez gets there. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, was right on it. And now Michael Franco, the batter, 3 for 8 in the series. And Franco takes a breaking ball. It's 0-1. So the numbers overall for Franco this year: 346, a home run, 3 RBIs. And he's in the hole 0-2. Padres playing the pull on the left side. They cut off the hole at shortstop.
Definitely leaves the middle of that diamond open.
Phillies come into this ball game with a .224 team batting average, which is 13th in the National League. But Pete Maccannon's team has won 3 games. He said his offense, it does need to get better. He admits that, but he just likes the way they're playing right now. It feels like the offense will get better. They're averaging 3 runs per game, right even with 3 runs. They've had 4 games so far of 2 runs or less. They've had 1 game where they've scored 6 or more. In the dirt, 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets were able to eke out a win today over Miami 2-1. Logan Verrett went 6 innings. Walked 2, struck out 6, did not allow a run. Adam Conley struck out 9 through 6. That one is gone. Deep to left field. Going back is Upton. It is gone. A home run for Maikel Franco. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Set. That's some strong hands right there by Maikel. You look at Conray, they say the Shiny Report stuff. Yes, Conray has stuff. Need to stay on pitches just like that one. Standing job. See how long his bat was in the zone? And that is a seed. Look at the head down on the baseball.
That's a 7-pitch at bat, and it makes Denise Mitchell of Pottstown a winner of the McDonald's Home Run Jackpot. She's just won $300.
Way to go, Denise.
That's a good night. Ryan Howard tied up on that pitch, and he fouls it up the first base line.
A lot of hitters will do that. They'll get to a pitch and they'll pull off it, or they won't hit through it. But his bat was in the zone for such a long. It was on plane for a long time, but it was quickly through that zone.
Home run number 2 for Franco. He and Howard each with 2 home runs.
Homers are cool.
Homers are cool. Back-to-back homers are even cooler. And a strike 3 call. So after working an 0-2 to Ryan Howard, and he worked at 0-2 to all 4 hitters in this inning, he's able to strike him out. He got an 0-2 to Maikel Franco, but then he worked the count back and was able to blast one into the seats in left field. And the Phillies with a 1-0 lead as we go to the seconds. Are floating along Ashburn Alley. Phillies have a 1-0 lead. Melvin Upton will start it off, and he takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Melvin is hitting .304 this year. He has 7 hits in 23 at-bats. 5 runs scored and a home run. Boy, his curveball is really breaking tonight. I know one of them was out of the strike zone according to Lance Barksdale, the home plate umpire, but it was still a very good pitch. He's thrown 3 of them, and all 3 have been excellent. Throws another one. And he gets Upton swinging. 2 strikeouts for Jared Eichhoff. And 1 out here in the second. Christian Bethencourt's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, General Manager Matt Klentak spoke with the assembled media today to talk about a variety of different topics, but perhaps the most interesting, the health of Cody Asche, who was in town over the last couple of days. He was evaluated for his oblique strain by Dr. Cohen, and the news is good. He's moving in the right direction. They're saying that right now he's pretty much on the same timeline as he has been, which means he could start hitting around May 1st. That's what they're hopeful. Baseball activities and hitting around May 1st, but that Cody is in good spirits, and he is making progress, so that is good news. Also, Darren Ruff, who we told you yesterday was day-to-day with a shoulder contusion, he remains the same. Pete Mackanin did say today that he thought he could pinch hit tonight if needed, but day-to-day right now with that shoulder contusion, guys.
Yeah, the contusions to the rotator cuff, which happened on the dive on that double by Derek Norris. There's Darren. Got a little treatment yesterday, got some treatment again today. So hopefully he is feeling better and able to get back into the lineup sometime in the next day or two. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bethencourt. And a curveball rolled toward the left side, backhanded by Hernandez, a former shortstop. He throws a 1-hopper to Ryan Howard. And there's 2 outs. The other thing that Matt said today, and it's true, he said, we've been really happy with the defense in the outfield. He said, not that, this was sort of talking about Cody Asche and when he would come back. So, they can wait a little bit, let him make sure he's fully healed, as Murph said, before he gets some swings in. And Ben, you've had obliques. Matt said he's had obliques. No, I don't think Matt ever had an oblique. But you said they're tough to come back from.
Everything you do, it affects everything you do. If you sneeze or you cough, it just feels like someone's stabbing you in the side with a knife.
Here's Rosales, who takes outside. It's 1-0. Adam Rosales, 32 years old. Last year hit .228 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs. Off the right field line, and Howard into foul territory makes the catch. Side is retired, an easy inning for Jared Eickhoff. 1, 2, 3. Go the Padres. Well, you got some time. Go out and get yourself some ribs. Bull's waiting for you. Tell him Ben said hi.
Tomorrow, we are talking playoffs. We'll have everything you need to know about the Flyers and Caps series.
New Sixers president Brian Colangelo will join us in the studio.
We'll see you at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Boy, Rob sounded kind of mean when he said that, didn't he? 1-0 Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. They must have been here last night. They've got the college T-shirts on from last night.
Beautiful night, Tom.
Nice night to be at the ballpark. In fact, one of the guys that we just showed was wearing the McDonald's opening night T-shirt, and he was also wearing one of the new college hats that are for sale in the Majestic Clubhouse store. As Cameron Rupp leads it off, and a fastball in there for a strike. See, there he is. I'm assuming it's either a Drexel hat or a LaSalle hat. I need to see the side before we make a determination. So, some of the schools here in Philadelphia are represented in the Majestic Clubhouse tour. Pete Mickelson, our behind home plate camera operator, is wearing his Temple Owls hat. Cameron Rupp lines one into right field. Matt Kemp will get to it, and Rupp will hold up at first base. So a leadoff single, third hit already for the Phils. That's just a good old Phillies hat right there. Back when we were growing up, you could only get probably a snapback hat. That was it. Couldn't get fitted hats. You couldn't get your favorite college hat with the Phillies logo, but your colors on it. Here's Freddie Galvis. Galvis 1 for 7 in the series. Takes high. 1 ball, no strikes.
You got a maroon hat with a white P on it.
That's it. The white P that we're wearing on our pullover tonight.
That was your option.
Outside 2-0. So Pete has the Temple hat on up here. Our guy Murph is creeping in behind me. In fact, he's scaring me. Where's your St. Joe's hat, by the way? Oh, somebody took it, he said.
You don't want to mess that hair up. That's the thing.
Murph has the St. Joe's hat. Galvis takes up high, and it's 3-0. I thought Murph had his microphone in his hand, so that's why I asked him where St. Joe's hat is. There's a strike. It's 3-1.
I know Cameron Rupp isn't going anywhere.
Oh, you want him to run, don't you?
I don't want him to run, but
you want a bigger lead?
I want a bigger lead. Even if it's a one-way lead, you still have to get off the base a little bit. I know he's not going anywhere, but maybe that bang-bang play at second base, maybe you can get your foot in there. Just by getting out there another 1.5 feet, maybe even 2 feet. As long as you guys have a good secondary.
Well, the next time you have that fraternity meeting with catchers, you guys can bring it up as part of your roundtable.
Yeah.
Anybody have new business? Here's Cedric Hunter. Hunter 2 for 21 so far. Runners lead off first and second. Nobody out here in the second. And Hunter bounces one foul. And it's 0-1. Both base runners had moved up a bag, not sure where the baseball was. So now they're headed back. Colin Ray went to Indiana State University. He is from Cascade, Iowa. He was selected in the 12th round by the Padres back in 2011. A 1 pitch to Cedric, lifted in the air to left field, and Melvin Upton will make the catch and quickly get the throw in. Reminder that Saturday night is Turkey Hill Kids opening night here at Citizens Bank Park. The kids pullover free to fans 14 and under. It's all part of the Phils in the Nationals series. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. I would be so tired after doing that. Peter Borges has 4 hits so far, and 3 of those hits have been doubles. Pokes that one foul. It's 0-1.
Cascade, Iowa, you said?
Yeah. Did I not say it right?
I'm showing a population a little over 2,000.
So a population of a little more than 2,000, and they have a sign outside as you get ready to enter the town that says the home of Red Faber. Red Faber was a major league pitcher from 1914 to 1933. He won 254 games and is in the Hall of Fame. Wow. So now the sign is going to read home of Red Faber and Colin Ray. 1-1 pitch. Pulled out towards shortstop on one hop. And the Padres are able to turn two. A sharp double play. The Phils get the first 2 base runners aboard, but do not score. We've played 2. We'll head to the 3rd. The Phils up 1-0. Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, so here's the question, Ben. What 2 Padres pitchers had 200 or more strikeouts last season? The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Jared Eickhoff has 2 strikeouts so far tonight to go along with 2 innings of work. And he will face 8-9-1 for the Padres. Amarista, Colin Ray, and John Jay. Amarista 1 for 5 in the first 2 games of this series. Just called up from the minor leagues. And he takes strike 1. Ball and 1 strike. That one's floated out towards center field, and Odubel will play it on 1 hop. So Amarista has the 2nd hit of the night for the Padres. A leadoff single, so Colin Ray could sacrifice him up here potentially. Well, this Friday, when the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals, Major League Baseball and the Phils will honor the great history of Jackie Robinson. The Phillies salute will include special videos, including highlights from Ken Burns' Jackie Robinson documentary, and all field personnel will wear the number 42. Special guests include the Phillies' Jackie Robinson Scholar and many others, including some members of the Tuskegee Airmen. In fact, Major League Baseball has a new initiative where they are going to fund even more scholarships for each major league team as part of the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Eickhoff will throw out Colin Ray. The putout goes 1-4 on the sack. And 1 away for the top of the order.
Ray did a nice job of just deadening that ball. Yes, it was bunted right back to Jared, but really deadened it. Hit it straight down in that dirt in front of home plate. Rolled out slowly to Jared.
John Jay struck out his first time up. Well, 2 strikeouts so far for Eickhoff. He got him with a breaking pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. And it's 0-1. stays high. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he's basically thrown his curveball as his breaking pitch, which is his best breaking pitch, but he does have the slider too. Worked a lot during the offseason on the changeup. Down the left field line. That'll slice toward the seats. Hunter will give it a look, and it's out of play.
And you had discussed it in the last game that he pitched in New York about how Bob McClure wanted him faster arm, slower pitch. A lot has to do with the grip, how tightly you're gripping that baseball, but you still want the same arm motion. Hitters can detect when you're slowing down.
I thought it was interesting when asked about the grip of his changeup and how he worked on it this offseason. He said that he pitched with a number of other professional pitchers near his hometown, and he kind of picked up what they were doing, the guys that had good changeups, and that helped him sort of adjust his changeup during this offseason. Off the hands of John Jay, and that happens all the time around baseball. Pitchers picking up other pitches from their teammates. Jeremy Hellickson, talks about how James Shields helped him with some of his pitches when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays. Heck, if you're going to learn how to throw a changeup, you're going to ask Cole Hamels how to throw a changeup.
Absolutely.
Another breaking pitch. He checked his swing. It'll even the count at 2-2.
Just like hitters, you might be talking to different hitters, and they might say just the one smallest thing that you can pick up on and learn from and try and incorporate into your game, whether that be hitting or just anything, any little tip. Same with pitching. Hitters always do that, especially talking about their bats. What weapon are you using today?
Up to the right side. That'll roll foul again. Well, here at Citizens Bank Park, as we mentioned, it's going to get warmer as the week goes on. Right now, 57 degrees and clear. A slight breeze, a couple miles per hour out of the east-northeast.
It is beautiful.
This coming from the guy who wanted to play the game at 4 o'clock today.
It really did. It was gorgeous. Not a cloud.
Well, you'll get your chance tomorrow. You get a chance to play a little earlier. 10:05 in the Pacific time zone, 1:05 here in the East. 2 balls, 2 strikes to John Jay with a runner at second. Breaking ball inside. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box.
See.
Got him. Second time he's gotten John Jay. That was at 76 miles an hour. There was an 8-pitch at bat. It almost looked like a slider instead of the curveball, but the miles per hour would dictate curveball. That's a curveball.
Definitely a hook. And you see the tight spin on that breaking ball to be able to throw that 3-2. Thinking I'm not going to see that pitch this early in the ball game. 3rd inning, but you have a runner in scoring position. Why not?
And now Spangenberg, who grounded out his first time up. There goes the runner from second. The pitch goes off the glove of Cameron Rupp. Amarista dove in head first. So he's going to hold up at 3rd. That'll go down as a stolen base. That ball, I don't think hit the dirt. I think it just hit off the glove. It clanked off the glove of Cameron Rupp.
I think Cameron had every intention of throwing this baseball to 3rd base. But with the jump that Amarista had, that's something I'm sure John McLaren's going to talk to him about and just say, hey, eat it. No sense in risking a throw into left field.
It goes down as a stolen base, and a breaking ball to Spangenberg is a strike. It's 1-1. We will follow the number of breaking pitches he's thrown tonight because it is really a good pitch. Then he comes back with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And he's ahead 1-2.
I guarantee you that 92 did not look like 92. They're just overthrowing that one. Cameron wanted the same pitch, heater away. See him just overthrow and yank it down into Spangenberg.
Breaking ball, swung on it, missed, blocked by Rupp. He'll fire over to first. Strikeout number 4 for Jared Eickhoff. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left over at third. On to the bottom of the third here in Philly. Phillies on top 1-0. They'll send Jared Eickhoff to the plate. It'll be Eickhoff, Hernandez, and Odubel Herrera. Well, I want to thank all of the fans who earlier today sent so many great wishes about today's date. Today's date will be a date that will live in the minds and hearts of everybody in Philadelphia. Back in 2009, this is the day that Harry passed away down in Washington, D.C. And walking out toward his statue earlier today in preparation for tonight's ball game, you thought about so many different things, but thought about what a great legacy that he had, not only here in Philadelphia, but also around the country, whether it be with college football or the NFL, or even his great calls of the Phillies, including the 2008 World Championship. But this is always a day that leaves us with heavy hearts. I mean, we see his name all the time when we walk into the booth, because the booth is named for him. But we also see him and his presence out at the statue in left field. But it's remarkable that it has been 7 years since Harry passed away. That morning in Washington, D.C., as the Phils and the Nationals prepared for the home opener for the Washington Nationals. But thanks to all the fans for everything they sent today, whether it be on Twitter or through email, the pictures, and we know that he was so important to so many people, and he was extremely important to all of us up here in the booth. Cesar Hernandez takes inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
It's just a legend, the way you can describe.
I do think it's remarkable. I was doing college basketball this past March, and Harry for years worked for Westwood One, which is where I worked doing the National Football League a lot during the offseason, and I would hear a lot of his football calls. They would do some retrospects about the football seasons when Harry would do games, and that's where I would get chills, is to hear that, even in the fall, and think about even all the commercials that he used to do, including some of the obscure ones like Mrs. Baird's Bread, Texas born, Texas bred. But we're thankful for all the memories that we have of him. Some are more vivid than others. 2-2 pitch to Cesar. Swing and a miss. Cesar is struck out. 2 away here in the third. And that'll bring Odubel Herrera to the plate. Odubel hit into a double play his first time up. Chopper right back to the second base bag. Cesar Hernandez was in motion on that double play. So the shortstop Amarista, who would not normally be shaded that way, was right around the second base bag waiting for the ball to arrive. Close pitch, 2-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball toward the outside part of the plate. He just splintered his bat. And the ball trickles over toward the on-deck circle of the Padres.
Right off the cup of that bat.
Yeah, I mean, he splintered it.
It's funny because the pitch before I was looking at his bat, he was grabbing the pine tar, and I noticed the cup had a little dent on it already. And then he completely shattered it.
Not very often that you see the hitter go into the dugout and find his own bat again.
Or come back with a completely different one.
Completely different bat.
You just need a little more time to get back in, Tom.
It's got to be comfortable, Ben. Chopper back over the middle. Spangenberg will have no chance as the ball gets away and goes into the Phillies dugout. And Odubel will go to second base. It'll be a base hit and an E4. Now, Corey Spangenberg has not had the cleanest of series, offensively or defensively. Probably should have just ate this one.
He should have eaten it, but I put this on Bethencourt as well. You know it's going to be a tough play, the fact that Odubel can run, but as a catcher, you have to be busting your tail down that first base line so this exact thing doesn't happen. See, Bethencourt not even in the picture. I know more often than not, I would say literally 99 out of 100 times, you serve no purpose running and backing that throw up, but that's the exact situation where you need to be.
Maikel Franco is the batter, and he lines one toward left center field. That's going to split the gap and roll to the wall. Herrera will score easily, and Franco pulls into second, an RBI double, and he's given the Phils a 2-0 lead.
Odubel probably scores on that anyway, but a very nice job of hitting. I'd love to know the exit velocity on that one. Another C. Good hitters do not miss good pitches to hit. That ball splitting the plate. Maikel drilling it to left center.
So Odubel will take a breather. They're going to walk Ryan Howard intentionally and decide to face Cameron Rupp. So Franco has both RBIs tonight for the Phils, the home run and now the RBI double. And Howard will have the bat taken out of his hand. So Howard is aboard. Phillies baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. Come into McDonald's for an Egg McMuffin and medium iced coffee for $3.49. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Cameron Rupp singled his first time up, 2 for 5 in the series. Talking to Carlos today. I thought Carlos had a fantastic game last night defensively. It shows what abilities he still has to call a game, to block a game, and even throw when he's got some time. He'll probably be in the lineup tomorrow. No balls and 1 strike to Rupp.
Definitely worked well with Charlie Morton last night.
Really did.
I noticed as the game early on there was some miscommunication there. Chooch getting shaken off a lot by Charlie, but they started, as the game progressed, they really started getting into a very good rhythm.
Rudders lead off first and second. And the 0-1 pitch to Rupp. Lays off. Two pitch. Chopper left side. Rosales has it, and he'll flip to second, and the side is retired. The Phillies, though, get a run on the RBI double by Maikel Franco. He has both RBIs tonight. We'll go to the 4th. You buy Toyota. Let's go places. Let's go Phillies. Let's go buy a hat. That young lady is trying on what she hopes will be her favorite hat that she'll wear down the shore this summer.
How adorable.
I think it looks great. It fits perfect, too. It'll fit now and it'll fit in 10 years.
Don't forget one for your brother or sister.
Jared Eichhoff has a 2-0 lead to work with. As we go to the top of the 4th, Matt Kemp, Will Myers, Melvin Upton. So as Matt Kemp comes to the plate, we glance at his batting gloves, which don't necessarily match the blue, gold, and brown that the Padres use as their colors. He whacks the first pitch foul. It's 0-1. But Matt Kemp is a huge basketball fan, a big Lakers fan, and tonight is Kobe's last game, so he is wearing the Nike MVP 24 purple and gold Kobe batting gloves to honor Kobe Bryant. Toward left center field. Long run for each outfielder. And it's Odubel who makes the catch. And there's one away. In fact, Matt Kemp tweeted out a picture of the batting gloves before the start of the ball game. And he said, "Thanks for all the great memories." And the Lower Merion star who ate up Ben Davis during their playing days, playing in his last game tonight for the LA Lakers.
The Mamba.
Will Myers is the batter. He lined out to center. And he fouls it away.
Listening to the Mike and Ike show today, and Ike Reese, a huge fan of Kobe Bryant, and he had Kobe on his top 5. If he had to start a team, he had Kobe on as one of those players. Loves
all time.
All time.
I don't know if
Ike
he's
Reese
too far off on
him.
that one.
No.
Who else did he have?
He had Steph Curry.
Going with some shooters.
Kobe. LeBron, Duncan,
what about
and
that?
Shaq.
Shaq Daddy.
So I texted him. I said, and then Michael B had his list, and I said, "Michael's, yours is better than Ike's." He goes, "Come on, Benjamin." And I said, "You lose by default. You didn't even put Wilt on your list. How do you not have Wilt?"
Did Michael have all 5 Syracuse starters on his list?
No, he had AI, Duncan, Wilt, Oscar Robinson, and Larry Bird.
Well, Myers down looking. 5 strikeouts for Jared Eichhoff. Melvin Upton's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph, would you put 5 St. Joseph's players on your top 5 NBA team?
I don't think I'd put 5 St. Joseph's
Would you put
players.
Jameer on it?
I'd put Jameer on it.
Of course
absolutely.
you would.
He deserves to be
Marvin
on there.
O'Connor?
Well, maybe not Marvin. Well, he's a terrific player. Should I do the timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet at this point? Why don't I do that? Brought to you by Coors Banquet. April 13th, 1983, guys. Trailing 9-5 to the Mets. You remember this? Bo Diaz stepped to the plate and hit what they call the ultimate grand slam with 2 outs, bases loaded, grand slam, and the Phils win it 10-9 over those New York Mets on this date back in 1983. That is your Coors Banquet timeless moment.
Kind of picture it in my head, too. Just the ball leaving the yard. Bo Diaz, who died tragically. 1 ball and 1 strike to Melvin Upton. And he takes a hanger and pulls it down the left field line. That'll go to the wall. And Upton will glide into second base. Cedric Hunter's throw went to second base. Nobody was there but Howard. And a 2-out double.
That would be the ultimate grand slam. What a feeling that would be.
Bo Diaz had, he had power. Bo Diaz passed away, as we said, tragically on November 23rd, 1990, at the age of 37. Wow. Began his career with the Red Sox, then went to the Indians and eventually to the Phils before moving on to the Cincinnati Reds. He was an all-star with the Reds in 1987 at the age of 34. At 270 with 15 home runs and 82 runs batted in. He had 2 years where he hit 33 home runs for the Phils combined. 0-1 pitch to Bethancourt. He lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Rupp throws behind the runner. It's off the glove. Hernandez. I don't know if Cesar selling it or stepping on Upton is what stopped him from going to the third base bag. I think ultimately it's stepping on him.
Either way, I got the job done. I love to see that. You don't see it a whole lot, but you got a bazooka like Cameron does. Get one of those middle infielders behind the runner. That throws lower. Cameron knows it.
Oh, he had him.
He had him. Dead to rights. You get that momentum on that right leg. That's what you do not want as a runner.
One ball and 2 strikes to Bethancourt. Inside, first curveball that really didn't break. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Bethancourt is tagged out, and the side is retired. So Jared Eichhoff works around a 2-out double. He struck out his 6th batter of the night. And that takes us to the bottom of the 4th. Office products you can't live without, like 3M Super Sticky Post-it Notes, available in a world of colors and ideal for the most hard-to-stick surfaces. Personally delivered to your desktop for free. By who? But W.B. Mason. Phillies lead at 2-0. 2 RBIs tonight by Maikel Franco. Freddie Galvis, Cedric Hunter, Peter Borges will be the batters as we go to the home 4th inning. Galvis walked his only time up, and he takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Colin Ray stands at 6'5" and is listed at 225 pounds. Pretty good size for a pitcher.
It's a good frame.
Well, when he left last year, he was 25 pounds lighter. So he bulked up this offseason. Sometimes that's not the best of things for a pitcher, is to bulk up. But he has seen an increase in his velocity as he gets Galvis the top one up to first base line. And there's one away.
Well, as you get older, you start to fill out. You see just 25 years old. That's a great frame, and you have the ability to add some weight. I think it can only help you, obviously, if you don't want to put too much on, but
Cedric Hunter flied out to left field his first time up, 0 for 1. Shows bunt up the third base line. It's a good bunt. Bethancourt has it, and oh man, did he fire that to first in time. Wow. That is a big time throw by Bethancourt. You want to retract what you said?
I want to retract what I just said. Wow.
2-3 on the putout. Well, he was the top prospect in the Braves organization for a while. He got out there fast and zip.
Honestly, could not have rolled it out there any better.
Look at Cedric Hunter's response. I mean, look at his response.
You kidding me?
Peter Borges grounded into a double play. His only time up. It's 1-0. off the end of the bat. Third baseman Rosales is under it, and he dropped it off the palm of his glove, and Borges pulls into second base. That is the third ball in this series the Padres have dropped. Now, the Ramirez ball that turned into an infield fly on game 1, that wasn't the easiest of plays, but Spangenberg has dropped a pop-up, and now Rosales has dropped a pop-up. That'll be an E5. Once he started backpedaling, I wondered if the shortstop Amarista should have just taken control of the situation. And Borges was running hard.
Out of the gate, you love to see that. Chooch did it last night. But what's great is that you clear Jared Eickhoff here.
Eickhoff pops it up, foul territory. Myers over toward the crowd and out of room. He didn't know where the railing was to kind of get in position.
Two hands, Tom.
Jamie would have been yelling it.
He would have been right next to Rosales yelling it. He used to scare me so much. You go back for a pop-up and he'd just be right next to you. Scream, two hands, two hands.
I don't know if you thought the same thing, though. Once he started backpedaling, I thought maybe the shortstop, and you listen, he was under it, so it was his ball, but you saw there was trouble brewing. 0-1 to Eickhoff, who doubled in the game against the Mets. And he hits that one sharply to shortstop. Amarista bobbles and then throws. Not in time, and here comes Borges. He is out at home plate. He tried the element of surprise, and Bethancourt was able to get the tag down to finish off the fourth inning. So they'll score E6 to allow Eickhoff to reach. But then Myers was able to fire to Bethancourt, who spun and was able to cut off Borges before he got to the dish. Celebrate the Fanatic's birthday. It's brought to you by Citizens Bank, and all kids 14 and under will receive the Fanatic Flare Hair Visor. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Well, Christian Bethancourt had a wonderful inning defensively. This is Borges trying to score on the throw to first base that Eickhoff beat. And Bethancourt, I think, is fortunate in one sense as Rosales leads it off. He taps it back to the box, and there's one away. I think he's fortunate in one sense, Ben, that throw took him off to the first base line, because look, I think he's blocking the plate on that shot.
I thought of that when I originally saw it, and it's not a play you see a catcher spin towards the first base dugout, but if the throw takes you up that side, we're taught as catchers to peel back the opposite direction. That's why he was able to apply the tag to Peter Borges. It's a very uncomfortable feeling because you lose sight of the runner.
I was going to say he had to do an awful lot in a very short period of time to make that play.
He did have a very good inning defensively.
Alexi Ramirez singled his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. I should say Alexi Amarista. Ramirez has the night off. Broke his bat, and he spins it out to short, caught out of the air by Galvis. 2 outs here in the 5th. Tomorrow night, the Flyers start their battle against the Capitals in D.C. Total Flyers playoff coverage begins tomorrow at 6, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. JJ's here at the ballpark tonight. He is going to head out after the game tonight and head down to D.C. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Saw some Flyers sweaters. Yes, Matt, they're called sweaters. Around the ballpark tonight. One ball and 1 strike to Colin Ray. Sacked his last time. Here's JJ. Jim Jackson. Two and 2 to Colin Ray. Well, if you thought he was good the other day against the New York Mets, Jared Eickhoff is even better here tonight. He has got a rhythm going.
It's another hook.
And that pitch has just been deadly. He has 7 strikeouts this evening, and most of the strikeouts have come on a nasty curveball. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Phils still nursing a 2-run lead. It's now time for our Citizens Bank minor league reports. And Lehigh Valley swept a doubleheader from Rochester. Darnell Sweeney combined 5 for 7, 3 extra base hits. How about David Lowe? He came in without a batting average. He had no hits and then left the doubleheader with a batting average well over 300. J.P. Crawford's had a pretty good run these last few days. Mitch Walding hit his second home run of the season as Clearwater lost to Charlotte, and the Blue Claws lost to Hagerstown 8-7. Citizens Bank, the next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. Cesar Hernandez lofts one out toward left. Melvin Upton is there. And one away. David Buchanan, by the way, pitched 5 innings today. Allowed 5 hits and 3 earned runs for Lehigh Valley. They wound up losing the game to Rochester 7-6. The outfielders down in Lehigh Valley had been struggling offensively, and Lowe was one of those guys. He had one of those days that you just dream about as a hitter. Four for 6 with an RBI. His average of 385. 13 hits today for Lehigh Valley. Tommy Joseph had a couple of hits. All right, so today was David Lowe. Tomorrow it's got to be Will Venable. He's got
to break out.
He's got to break out. Odubel takes Lowe. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball and 2 strikes to Odubel Herrera. Odubel reached on an infield hit and then went to second when the throw to try to get him at first went into the dugout. And he scored on the double by Michael Franco. His average at 267. We knew it wasn't going to last, that it would be under 200. Check swing and a foul ball. Good job by Lance Barksdale to call that quickly, because that could have gone a handful of different ways. It could have been a swing and technically a miss that went through Bethencourt's legs.
I was watching the game live. I just thought he swung through the ball, and Bethencourt didn't block it.
So he could have been off and running. So that's why you want the umpire to call it quickly. 2-2 pitch on the inside corner, and a strike 3 call. That was a really good spot by Colin Ray.
It's a heater in here by Odubel. Oh, looks in, but take a look here. Definitely in, off the plate. One Odubel's going to go back and look at the video room and not be very pleased with it. I do like the new camera over top. Love it.
It's awesome. Michael Franco chops one foul. It's 0-1. So down in the dugout today, talking to Michael, and I said, hey, that was a really good play you made yesterday. He goes, thank you. He walked up the steps. He said, you can just call me Robinson Cano.
We have to call him Robbie from now on.
You can call him Robbie. You want to get formal, you can call him Robinson.
Robinson Cano is named after Jackie Robinson. And the reason he wears 24 is the opposite of 42.
Swing and a miss. He went after a high fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ray, and we are through 5. Phillies go down in order for the first time tonight. They lead it 2-0 as we head to the 6th inning. Blue Cross Philly of the week is adjusting to his new uniform pretty well. Signed into the offseason and ready to deliver from the jump on opening day, Jeremy Hellickson has been on target in his first 2 starts. He has efficiently commanded his pitches, tossing 11 2/3 innings and striking out 11 batters, while allowing just 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and just 1 walk. He's new to the rotation, but his newness is easy to enjoy. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Oh, Jared Eichhoff has taken a page out of Jeremy Hellickson's book here tonight. So far, 5 scoreless innings, and we go to the top of the 6th inning. And he'll face the top of the Padres order. John Jay, Corey Spangenberg, and Matt Kemp. So Friday against the Mets through 5. 5+ innings. He allowed 5 hits and 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts tonight, 7 strikeouts. And it's 1-0. What has the thought process been of a catcher the 3rd time through? All right, so he's had an effective curveball. He has 7 strikeouts. Is your mind moving, thinking, all right, how am I going to get these guys off that pitch? Well, I guess you start with a pitch like that. 1 away.
No. Stick with it until they make the adjustments. You don't need to do anything.
All right, so you're not planning any changes or anything like that as a catcher for your 3rd time through?
No. Until they make the adjustments. He hung one to Melvin Upton Jr. She hit down the line for a double, but no, I wouldn't change anything. Until they show that they can make the adjustments, stick with the game plan.
Well, and look at the numbers right there on the curveball. The lowest opponent's batting average went ahead on curveball. I mean, that's remarkable, the names that he's mixed in there with. Felix Hernandez, Craig Kimbrell. Back toward the middle, and Freddie Galvis won't get it, so Spangenberg is aboard. Corey had been 0 for 9 in this series, and that's the 4th hit against Eichhoff.
Why I think his breaking ball is so good is because he throws it with the same conviction, with the same aggressiveness that he throws his fastball.
Now, I guess that's part of why they wanted him to work on the changeup, because they love the curve out of the slot and in the motion. They love the fastball out of the slot in the motion. The slider the same, so they wanted the changeup to be basically out of the same slots.
Yes. I mean, there's nothing passive about the way he throws his breaking ball.
Kemp late on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Runner goes and then stops. Pitches inside. 1-1. I don't know if Spangenberg just didn't like his break or if he wasn't running. He was just decoying. I think if we go back and look at his breakdown of pitches, I don't think we're going to see a slider in there. maybe one. It's been mostly curveballs.
I'm not seeing any changeups either. Much like Aaron Nola did in his first start in Cincinnati, he was a fastball, breaking ball. Really no need to mix in any other pitches. That's the way Jared is this evening.
A little pitch out, and it's 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch is pulled toward third. So Franco has a play at first. Spangenberg's going to go over to third base, and he'll get there easily. Putout goes 5-3. Really not much Franco could do. He's got to get the out at first base.
Yes.
Spangenberg just has great wheels. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Ben. You were drafted by the Padres, so you should know their history. What two Padres pitchers had 200 or more strikeouts last season?
I'm going to say one guy that you said his name earlier, Big Game James Shields.
James Shields is correct with 216. That led the team.
And the guy who's on the DL right now, Tyson Ross.
Tyson Ross is correct with 212. Our thanks to Glenn Davis for participating tonight. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Will Myers is 0 for 2. He's lined to center, and he has struck out looking. Spangenberg leads off third. Well, there was a changeup. Myers just looked back and said, "Is that a changeup?" Curveball, 1-1. Still popular after all these years, except for the last guy in the group. 1 ball and 1 strike to Myers. Fastball outside, 2-1.
93, the hardest pitch velocity wise that he's thrown all evening. You'd love to see that. You had mentioned that he got a little tired in his outing in New York.
That was a slider. That may have been the first one of the night. Just looking at the miles per hour, was 82. The curves have been in the 70s. And that's the first breaking ball that's been in the low 80s.
Good plane on that slider. Myers obviously does not pick up the rotation and swings through it. Came out of his hand hot.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Myers with a runner at third. Swing and a miss. He got him 95 on the fastball. That's the hardest pitch he's thrown in tonight's game. 8 strikeouts for Jared Eickhoff. For the Padres, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. We have played 5.5. The Phils up 2-0. Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford stores. By WB Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. 2 runs provided by Maikel Franco and some great pitching provided by Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff has 8 strikeouts tonight. He just picked up number 8 by getting Will Myers on a fastball. And Ryan Howard leads off the home 6th inning.
What's Cameron Rupp's reaction here? You call the pitch? Yeah. That's what I wanted. I guarantee Cameron wasn't expecting that 95.
Now that ball had a little extra mustard on it.
A little giddy up. Love to see that kind of emotion.
Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's just really nice when you have a game plan and you see that game plan come to fruition.
Do you think they had the game plan to use the curveball this much, or is it just that good that they've gone to it more?
You can always have a game plan, but until you get out on that mound, you never know. You could have great stuff in the bullpen. I've had guys that catch them in the bullpen and you're like, oh, no hitter tonight. You get out on the mound in the game and they're out there. They lasted an inning and a third.
2 balls and 1 strike to Howard. And Howard pulls it to right on 1 hop to Spangenberg. One away. Cameron Rupp's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, Pete Mackanin has been talking about getting this offense going and individually getting certain guys going. And one of the guys he would really like to see get going is the guy coming up to the bat right now, Cameron Rupp. We think back to what he was able to do during spring training. He had an absolutely terrific spring training, and it looked like he was poised for a very big year offensively, and he may very well be. Batted .343 in the spring. He had made some changes to his swing, Pete said, during the offseason. Worked very hard at trying to keep his bat through the plane a little bit longer, through the zone a little bit longer, and he was seeing very good results during spring as he hits this one to the corner right. I lost sight of it, Tom. So
well, it's caught by Matt Kemp in the corner in fair territory. The first base umpire, Will Little, wasn't as quick on the draw as you would like, because we lost him up here too.
Yeah, you know, where I am, I could not see that, but okay, you know, but just to finish that thought, Cameron Rupp had worked very hard at changing that swing, and then when the regular season started, Pete said they started to see him going back to some of his old habits, and that is dropping the backside, trying to drop the shoulder, and popping the ball up more often than not. So they've been working a lot this week, Steve Henderson, the hitting coach, with Cameron, trying to get him to drive through the ball in hopes that he can regain that form that he had this spring.
Freddie Galvis rolls over to the right side. Spangenberg slides from his knees, throws him out. And for Colin Ray, that was the quickest inning of the night. Phillies go down in order. Ray has retired the last 6. We'll head to the 7th in a 2-run game. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. Phillies lead it 2-0. That poor kid, Iggy's going to give him nightmares as he's trying to crawl away. Phillies lead it 2-0 thanks to Michael Franco's 2 RBIs, a solo home run and an RBI double. Jared Eichhoff's been really good through 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs. He has 8 strikeouts. And Melvin Upton starts it off by taking a pitch down. Uh-oh, we got trouble. That poor kid is going to be having nightmares of Iggy and Sigmund the Sea Monster. They're all going to be rolling through his head.
That little guy would just be an appetizer for Iggy.
Ball's popped up foul over the first base dugout. But in the end, well, Dad at least got along. Look at Iggy. He's like, I can't win. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Jared Eichhoff. His career high is 10. He did it 10 times, or 2 times, excuse me, last year.
That's just by you. 92. Almost looked like that ball had a little cut on it. Mark Grant just came in. Mark does the color for the Padres, and Mud was someone who I got to know very well while my days in San Diego. He came flying in here after the inning and he goes, "You're right. His stuff is filthy." So I told you. He goes, you said his breaking ball was good. Because I didn't think it'd be this good. I said, it is.
Well, he never listened to you when you were a catcher. And he was up in the booth, former pitcher. Wasn't going to listen to you tonight. 2 balls and no strikes to Bethancourt. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. So we're going to miss it, a 91-mile-an-hour heater. It's 2-1.
That was the one to hit if you're Bethancourt. And a straight fastball at 93 down the middle. But that's when you have the ability to throw other pitches for strikes, you're going to be tardy on that pitch.
You're also going to try to defend against that curveball.
This is where a right on right changeup would just be phenomenal. You see it come out of his hand. You don't see rotation. You see fastball. The last thing you're thinking about is a changeup. The velocity alone is going to get you.
It goes back to the curveball.
Tripled up.
Rupp's looking fastball away. Over to the left side, Galvis with the shift. Throws it low and backhanded by Howard. 2 outs. MLB.com at bat. Follow Phillies baseball with live video from MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. The way Bethancourt went through that bag and looked at Tarek Brock, it's almost as if he thought that he was safe at first base. Rosales, who tapped one back to the mound his last time up, and popped out his first time. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Carlos Villanueva pitched in one game, warmed up in the other, and now is warming up here in game 3.
What do you think, Tom? This is it for Jared?
Yes, he's due to bat in the bottom of the 7th. Big, strong guy, but he's at 94 pitches. I think Pete Mackanin thinks he can get 2 innings out of his bullpen tonight. You may see the guy that's coming out first right there, and David Hernandez. He's got the rosin in his hand, talking to Daniel Stumpf. 2-1 pitch. 92. Although, if he gets Rosales here, he'll have 8, 9, and 1, a pinch hitter with the number 9 spot. I would think this is his final inning of work.
I would concur.
That one has popped a mile high. Rupp off with the mask. Franco's coming to help, but Cameron makes the catch using 2 hands, and the side is retired. Well, if that is it for Jared Eickhoff, it is a heck of an outing. 7 innings, no runs, 9 strikeouts. The 7th inning, Phillies lead 2-0. Jared Eickhoff being congratulated in the dugout. He's due to bat 3rd in this inning, and it looks like his night is done. What a fantastic outing it was. Jared 5+ in his first outing, and now 7 innings here tonight. 9 strikeouts. David Hernandez is warming in the bullpen. Look at that line.
And Jared looks ecstatic, doesn't he?
He is intense on the mound. Great to chat with, though.
He is.
Cedric Hunter lines one out toward left center field. It's going to slice back toward Melvin Upton. And there's one away. There's Hernandez. And by the way, Colin Ray has pitched well here tonight for the Padres. He gave up the home run to Franco and probably would have given up an RBI double to Franco, even though his defense allowed Odubel Herrera to go to second base on an infield hit. But he's been effective tonight for the Padres, pitching into the 7th inning. Gorgeous is 0 for 2. Shows bunt. Matty Burris is out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for the Phils.
Both pitchers have pretty good tempo tonight. Get it and they throw it.
Over toward 3rd. That one's pulled foul. Swing and a miss. Bethancourt blocks it, and then will throw to first base. 4 strikeouts, make it 5 strikeouts for Colin Ray. And Emmanuel Burris will pinch hit. Welcome your newest little one into the world by signing them up to be Phillies fan for life. It's the Phillies Newborn Club. Members receive personalized Phillies birth certificate, personalized Fanavision birth announcement, 2016 Phillies pre-Walker sneakers, a Phillies Rookie of the Year bib, and more. Join now at phillies.com/newborn club. Balsley trotted out to the mound to talk to Colin Ray, give him a little scouting report on Emmanuel Burris, who will be the pinch hitter. Think about Colin Ray. He hasn't allowed a hit since the double by Franco in the 3rd. The base runners he's allowed: an intentional walk, the 2 errors, one by his third baseman, one by his shortstop, and that's it since the 3rd. As Burris takes strike 1, it's 0-1.
Colin just at 85 pitches.
Coming off a spring in which he was 1-0 with a 5.73 ERA. Ow. And Burris is hit by that pitch. So aboard for Cesar Hernandez. Andy Green does have bullpen action.
If they were to make a switch, I would assume it'd be of the double switch variety, with Colin Ray batting 2nd next inning, the top of the 8th.
That's Ryan Buchter. Burris draws a throw, and he's back easily. Buchter pitched in yesterday's game. If for some reason Hernandez gets on, I think what Ben said about the double switch may happen with Odubel due up. Inside corner.
See a gapper here, something down the line. Give Manny Burris a chance to score here.
Yeah, Kemp is shaded way over, and that throw was more on line. Burris may have been picked off, but Kemp is shaded way over. Look where he is. Look where John Jay is, the center fielder. So they're giving Cesar Hernandez the right field line. Another throw over, and Burris just gets back.
That was some quick feet there by Colin Ray.
Another throw over. Toyota Major League scoreboard. Washington is shutting out Atlanta 3-0. That game's in the top of the 8th inning. First time since '88 that Atlanta is 0-7 to start the year. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hernandez. Stephen Drew and Jason Worth have homered for the Nationals. Runner goes, pitch is hit foul. Boy, Pete is really trying the whole hit and run thing. I think somebody just made an excellent catch. Pete's been trying that hit and run for the last couple of days.
Phils have had, going into today's ball game, 5 stolen base attempts, only been successful once.
I think 3 of those 5 have been hit and runs that they haven't been able to manufacture it. because Cesar Hernandez has been thrown out twice, and I think both of those have been hit and runs that failed. And I think Carlos Ruiz, who was thrown out by a mile, I believe that was a hit and run. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cesar. There he goes. Pitches inside. Bethancourt's throw is a little high, and he's out at second base. Well, that must have been a real quick tag by Amaristo, the shortstop. Burris does not argue with Ted Barrett. Pete Buchanan has not popped out of the dugout, so the side is retired. Let's take a look as we go to break. The Phils up 2-0. Emmanuel Burris. Looked like his hand got in there. We'll head to the top of the 8th. The 3-2 pitch coming to Cesar Hernandez. A chopper to first. Will Myers backs up on it. Ray is there to cover, and he is out at first base. He made it close, but the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. Now we're through 7. We'll go to the 8th with the Phillies leading it 2-0. Jefferson. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. By Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Top of the 8th inning, the Phillies are on top 2-0. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Phils. Time now for a Hyundai defensive plays of the game. Let us introduce you to Christian Bethencourt.
Comes out like a cat. I didn't think he had a chance to get Cedric Hunter. That bunt was perfect, but Christian Bethencourt comes out, fires it to first, and then the spin play at home to get Peter Borges. Throw a little up the line by Will Myers at first base, but Bethencourt squares it off for your Hyundai defensive plays of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Alexi Amarista will lead it off against David Hernandez, who fires a strike. Jared Eichhoff tonight goes 7 innings and allows 4 hits. Does not allow a run, does not walk anybody. And he struck out 9, 1 shy of his career high. One ball, 1 strike. Out toward left center field, and that'll drop in front of Odubel Herrera. So Amarista is aboard to begin the 8th inning. He's 2 for 3, 3 for 8 in the series. Time for the Major League Notebook. Murph, take it away.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Well, things are not going well for Red Sox third baseman Pablo Sandoval. He started the season, you remember, and lost his job down there at third base. Started the season 0-7 with 4 strikeouts, and today ended up on the disabled list. He has a sore shoulder. Says he's not exactly sure when the injury happened. However, he is on the 15-day disabled list, and the start of this season not going well for him. Also, LA local native Mike Trout and LA resident now honoring Kobe Bryant tonight by wearing batting gloves that were purple and gold with Kobe's number stitched in it, saying that he was his favorite player while he was growing up, and he just wanted to honor him tonight in his last game as an LA Lakers. Guys?
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. So it looks like Matt Kemp and Mike Trout are joining the Kobe bandwagon. Ben, of course, who played against Kobe in high school, is not wearing the purple and gold batting gloves. No?
No, not tonight. It's not cold enough.
0-2 pitch to Travis Jankowski out of Lancaster. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kevin Beal from the Phillies front office, who associated with Kobe when they were in high school. He is not wearing the purple and gold batting gloves tonight. 1-2 pitch coming to Jankowski. He'll have to wait. A little quick toss over to first.
Remember the rims at Lower Merion? They were wonderful.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that they adjusted them to favor the home team.
They were soft. You still have to play at both ends, Tom.
Over the third base dugout, out of play. Right, but I didn't think that you guys scored a whole lot of points against him.
Did okay. Played by Voracek there.
Amarista leads off first. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour heater, and Hernandez gets Jankowski. So 1 away. And John Jay will be the batter. So 10 strikeouts overall for Phillies pitching. 9 by Eichhoff. John Jay has faced David Hernandez before. 5 plate appearances.
.907.
Say that up here, but when you were catching, Lance Barksdale was calling balls and strikes. You never did that, did you?
Every now and again, depending on the umpire.
1 ball and no strikes to John Jay.
We have talked at length about how good the Phillies starting pitchers have been. This is the 9th game the team has played. Just 12 walks by the starting staff. 12. And 4 were by Charlie Morton last night. So that is, me with walks. Can't stand them. Sometimes, yes, you do have to get in a situation need to put a guy on. But just 12 walks by the starting rotation thus far. That's awesome.
1 ball and 2 strikes to John Jay. Well, we mentioned the innings per game, what they averaged. Coming into tonight, they were just a hair under 6. Aaron Nola has been able to get deep into games in his first 2, and he's been right around the strike zone. Phillies are 5th in the league in innings pitched for the starters, and that will go up after tonight's 7 by Eichhoff. As we mentioned, if they can get it over 6 and maintain that as the average, 6 1/3, 6 2/3, something in that neighborhood, they're going to be in pretty good shape. One ball and 2 strikes to John Jay here in the top of the 8th inning. Lays off, and it's 2-2.
There's always that fine line between your bullpen getting work in and being overexposed. As long as you can keep them fresh enough, they're going to hopefully be okay.
See the bullpen and what they've done the last 4 games. That includes the one out here tonight. Over to first, Ryan Howard to a knee, has it, and he hits the runner, and everybody will be safe. He hit Amarista square in the back. He never really had the angle once he went to a knee.
Most of the time you will see Ryan Howard create that throwing lane like he did last evening, but here he comes off the bag and doesn't step forward because he has to go to a knee. Hits Amarista in the back. You see he doesn't step into the throw, kind of yanks it. But you always want to step up into the baseline so you can create that throwing lane to second base.
That's the 3rd error of the season for Howard, so it's a fielder's choice, E3. And Spangenberg will be the batter with 2 runners on.
If you're Ryan Howard there, you're most better off just saying, you know what, I didn't create that throwing lane. I'm just going to get it out at first base.
Totally agree with that. Because, I mean, Amarista was moving.
Yeah. That would have been the 2nd out. Yeah, there's a runner in scoring position, but you do have that 2-run cushion. If it's a 1-run ball game or tie ball game, I could see you being aggressive, trying to get that lead runner. You always want to get the lead runner, but in that situation, maybe Ryan should have just taken the out.
Back to the screen. It's 3-2. Matt Kemp is on deck. Runners lead off. 3-2 pitch, way upstairs off the glove of Rupp. And that will load up the bases. So the first walk issued tonight by Phillies pitching. Might get that bullpen stirring again. It looks like they are starting to move around. Dyer Hinojosa is just now beginning to warm up. McClure thinking about going out. And here he comes. So the clock starts out in left field. That's why Bob started trotting out. He was buying time, waiting for Rupp to go back toward home plate before he ventured out. He's going to give Hinojosa some time here with Kemp scheduled to bat. Hernandez will face him. So the conversation clock is under 10. Lance Barksdale is going out to break up the conversation. He needs to be out there before it hits 0, and he is. Coming up after the ball game, stick around for Marlon Anderson and Michael Barkan. They'll be breaking down this ball game. Plus, you'll hear reactions from Pete Mackanin and the players on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post Game Live. Kemp is 1 for 3. Phillies will play a traditional setup in the infield with the bases loaded. And he hits it foul off to the right.
We got away with one there. Hanging slider. He started Kemp off last evening with a slider. Matt has chosen to go back to the more conventional color batting glove.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. By the way, Elias, the official statistician of Major League Baseball, has informed us that that throwing error by Ryan Howard is his first since August of 2012. Wow. Runners lead off. In the dirt. He tried to check. He went around and he knew it. They appeal. And Matt Kemp is struck out. He was already walking away. He didn't realize they appealed, and all of a sudden he stopped and said, wait a minute, maybe I better sell this better. But the first base umpire, Will Little, says that he did go around. And he sure did.
He sure did.
11 strikeouts for Phil's pitching. Will Myers still a tough customer. See his numbers, his career numbers with the bases loaded. On the outside corner, and it's 0-1.
There you go, Will Myers looking at the at bat before you with Matt Kemp. He went at him all sliders. First pitch, he dots him 93 down and away with a heater.
Missed it down low with that fastball. One ball, 2 strikes. Hernandez trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. The 1-2 pitch. Slider that just missed outside. It's 2-2.
If you're going to miss, that's the spot to miss.
Yeah, because you might get the hitter to bite.
Wasn't that far from being called a strike.
Got it. A high slider. Myers swings right through it. And David Hernandez picks up 3 strikeouts in the inning, and he leaves them loaded here at the top of the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 3 men left. On to the bottom of the 8th. The Phils still on top, 2-0. Of the 8th inning, David Hernandez was able to get out of a bases-loaded jam. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team, 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So Hernandez is able to strike out 3 batters in the inning. It's kind of an interesting trek through the inning for him.
It really was. He gets Jankowski with some gas. Then he goes and gets Kemp and Myers with a slider. You'd love to see that in your pitching. You'd also love to see one teammate picking up another one.
So Hernandez will give way to Genmar Gomez in the 9th inning. The Phillies hope to tack on, and they'll do so against left-hander Ryan Buchter. Buchter in 4 games so far, a 2.45 ERA. Buchter's got a ton of friends and family over here, the South Jersey products. Fires a fastball past Odubel Herrera, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. Down the left field line, it'll be out of play toward the second deck. Foul tip hung on to by Bethancourt, and one away here in the 8th inning. So Michael Franco will come up. You see Buchter's family getting a chance to watch him here. And Franco is providing our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
First inning, Peter down. Michael goes down and gets it. It's a laser midway up the first section out there in left field. I think it's another first pitch fastball down the middle, splits the gap in left center to score Odubel Herrera. And they are your W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
So Franco takes that pitch inside. Franco is 2 for 3 tonight. There's Genmar. Two balls and 1 strike to Franco. Buchter was originally selected by the Washington Nationals and eventually went to the Cubs back in 2008, and then to the Braves where the Dodgers picked him up, went back to the Cubs, and then signed with the Padres. That one just misses outside. Ball 4. Signed with the Padres this past December and was able to make the team out of spring training. It's not his first go around in the big leagues, but he was here for a short period of time with the Atlanta Braves in 14. And Ryan Howard will be the batter. Howard is 0 for 2. Potentially walked back in the 3rd. Struck out looking, grounded out to second base.
Booker had to look around and see exactly who he was going to throw it to in case he got a comebacker. Obviously with the shift on to make sure you know exactly who you're throwing it to.
And Marista still at the shortstop position, but Rosales, the third baseman, has slipped over to the right side of the diamond. No balls and 1 strike to Howard. Off the glove of Bethancourt, and it's 1-1. Some of these pitches on the inside part of the plate are pretty close.
They are.
Out to right. Matt Kemp is there to make the catch. Franco is a little too far off the first base bag, and he is doubled up. I think he just forgot the outs. It's a double play. The Phillies, who have had trouble base running so far to start the season, have trouble again, but they lead it 2-0 as we go to the 9th. The Phillies take on the New York Mets here at Citizens Bank Park. It's the first of a 3-game series. All 3 games are at 7:05. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. On to the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies are on top 2-0. A couple changes for the Phils. Andres Blanco will take over at first base, so that answers our question about Darren Ruff and whether he's available tonight. So Blanco takes over for Howard at first, and Genmar Gomez will be the new pitcher. 4 games so far for Gomez, 3 saves. He has struck out 2 in 4 innings of work. All right, we'll take a look at the play that ended the last half inning. Maikel Franco, he had to just forget the outs here.
My best bet.
Which is, unexcusable. Matt Kemp still has a strong arm and was able to throw him out.
He even hesitated, Matt Kemp did, and still got Maikel by. Or maybe he thought the ball was going to get down.
Drop, yeah. Because he really wasn't even running as if he thought it was 2 outs. He just went too far.
Could have assumed that that ball had more topspin on it than it did.
Melvin Upton will lead it off for the Padres. Here in the top of the 9th inning. And it's a strike, 0-1. Upton is 1 for 3, couple strikeouts and a double to left. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seven innings tonight for Jared Eickhoff. 7 innings, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. David Hernandez then pitched a scoreless 8th. Out to right field. Borges will track this one down for the first out. And that'll bring Jabari Blash to the plate as a pinch hitter for the Padres.
Beautiful.
And Bob McClure is just going to trot out and give Genmar a scouting report on Blash. Blash 167. He has 8 plate appearances so far this season.
I think Bob went over the 30 seconds he was allotted.
Jabari Blash was drafted 3 different times before he eventually signed in 2010 with the Seattle Mariners. Drafted out of high school in the 29th round, drafted after playing a year in college in the 9th round, and then drafted in the 8th round a year later. He has spent 6 seasons in the minor leagues. Last year with Seattle in AAA, hit .264. He had 22 home runs and 47 runs batted in. That was a AAA. AA, he had 10 home runs, so he finished with 32 homers and 81 runs batted in. 26-year-old from St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. One ball, 1 strike to him. Tied him up, 1-2. That was a nasty pitch that he could not lay off.
Where Tim Duncan's from? St. Thomas?
Yes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They play him the pull and the pitch. In the dirt. And it evens the count up at 2-2.
It's a lot of home runs in a minor league season. $32, you said?
32 combined.
Woo.
Spent a lot of time down in the minor leagues. A couple of different organizations, making his way up to the big leagues. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Phillies pitchers tonight with 12 strikeouts, and Gomez is 1 out away from securing the save. This ball had some sink on it.
What you call tying the hitter up.
Well, here's Derek Norris to pinch hit for Adam Rosales. Norris caught the first 2 games of this series. Hitting 148. Expectation is he'll be back behind the plate tomorrow for the finale of this 4-game set. A 105 first pitch. If you haven't gotten a chance to see any of the spring training games on TV or the game on Saturday, Vince Velasquez will pitch tomorrow, and he was something to watch the other day in New York. First, though, before the Phillies set their sights on the finale, they need one more out here.
Be a bit warmer for Vince tomorrow than it was in New York.
Didn't seem to affect him. 1 ball and no strikes. That Saturday night game.
He did tell our Greg Murphy that he said it's cold.
Yeah. Had a hand warmer in his back pocket, just trying to keep himself warm. 1 ball, no strikes to Norris. Outside, 2-0. Wow, I hope they win. That's an awfully big promise to make.
You can't make that promise as a parent, can you?
I think you got to roll the dice every once in a while. 2-0 pitch. Just outside, 3-0. He tried to feed that sinker to the black. Boy, that was a pitch that looked like it was a strike on the inside part of the plate. Instead, it's ball 4 on 4 pitches. And here's Brett Wallace to pitch in. Juan Samuel is making sure the outfielders are all set. Cedric Hunter, he's calling him in a little bit. Hunter was about 2 steps from the warning track and lefts. Blanco's going to play behind Derek Norris and guard the line at first. So Wallace was an excellent pinch hitter last year for the Padres. Those were his numbers overall. As a pinch hitter, he hit .349 with 4 home runs. The runner goes from first and the pitch is in the dirt. Rupp doesn't know where it is and finally finds it. And it's 1-0.
Hopefully this 2-out walk will not hurt the Phillies, but definitely don't want to prolong innings by having that happen.
Freddie Galvis into the mound to talk to Genmar Gomez. He got the first 2 outs and then walked Norris on 4 pitches. Threw him an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. Padres have had base runners in scoring position. They did in the 8th inning. They have one here. They had a runner in scoring position in the 6th inning, another one in the 4th inning, and in the 3rd, but have not scored. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second. Another changeup. It's 2-2. And now this crowd comes to their feet. If they all knew that a win would produce a puppy, they'd get even louder.
That they would, Tom.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gomez is set. That one's pulled through the hole on the right side, of base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Norris. He will score an RBI single for Brett Wallace, and this is a one-run game. It's 2-1. So now Alexi Ramirez will be the pinch hitter.
I wish I could tell you how he hit a ball that hard, that high off the ground and sinking down and away from him, but he stayed on it really well. And these girls are getting worried, Tom.
Yeah, it's getting a little tense. So Ramirez will pinch hit as Andy Green unloads his bench. He has used everybody off the bench tonight. And Ramirez takes a fastball. It's 0-1. The 4-pitch walk to Derek Norris with 2 outs is what started this mini rally for the Padres. He went to second on what they call defensive indifference and then scored on the base hit by Wallace. In the dirt, smothered by Rupp. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Blanco is not holding the base runner on. He's holding Wallace on here. He was not holding on Derek Norris, as we mentioned. Off the foot of Ramirez, and it's 1-2. That's going to hurt. That ball went fast out to third base, so it had to hit him hard.
Chilly night, sitting on the bench all evening.
Off the shin. Yeah.
Just go a little bit farther in there.
She just mouthed, "We have to win." It's 1-2. Wallace hitches off first base. Gomez is set again. And the pitch to Ramirez. Lifted in the air, shallow left field. Galvis is there. He says he has it, makes the catch, and we're going to get a puppy. The Phillies win it 2-1. Genmar Gomez closes it out here in the 9th inning. He saves it for Jared Eichhoff, and the Phillies have taken Game 3 of this 4-game series. Well, somebody's going home especially happy. Maikel Franco, yes, he had a base running blunder in the bottom of the 8th inning, but he also drove in 2 runs early on, and those were the 2 runs the Phillies needed for the victory here tonight. They win it by a final score of 2-1. Genmar Gomez closes things out and picks up the save, his 4th in 4 opportunities. Well, you wondered how he would react to a little adversity. And Genmar went to his changeup at the end to help his cause, and then eventually went to the sinker. Here is the final out. It was a changeup, and Alexi Ramirez was tied up, pops it up. Freddie Galvis takes care of it, and the Phils have taken Game 3, and they are happy to be going home.